was inducted into the Order of the Engineer in 1997 at the University of Delaware in Link 102. Other members that are joining me today to assist in this ceremony are Professor Susan Williams, I'll see her as well. And so the ceremony presents an opportunity for us to take a pledge and to recall that the professional purpose of engineering involves the pursuit of a learned art and the spirit of public service. By following the acceptance of the obligation, the individual engineer reinforces similar efforts of their peers, realizing that in unity there is strength. Decades ago, our engineering counterparts in Canada had the same feeling. They believed that a need existed for the introduction of a spirit of fellowship and cohesiveness among engineers. The Canadians believed that a good way to achieve this purpose would be to instill in an engineer a consciousness of belonging to one another, to others, and to the people they served. This was done in 1925 in Canada, what was known as the ritual of the calling of the engineer. The words of the ritual were written by the English author Rudyard Kipling, who had much depth of feeling for engineers and the builders of things intended to benefit humankind. The Canadian ceremony is dignified, impressive, and includes placing a wrought iron ring on the small finger of the individual's working hand, and then having them repeat in concerts the words of Kipling. It's difficult to visualize a better symbolism than out of a ring, worn by engineers for all to see, saying in effect that here's an engineer dedicated to a publicly avowed obligation to the profession and those it has served. In Ohio, the idea of similar maxims were established, and correspondence began in October of 1953 between the Canadian wardens, as they're known, responsible for the administration of the calling of the engineer, and officers of the Ohio Society of Professional Engineers, with a view to possibly extending the Canadian ceremony to the United States. However, due to copyright laws, they weren't able to extend this directly. However, during 1966, a group of engineers in Ohio, with members of several engineering organizations, began to pursue the objective to what came to be known as the Order of the Engineer. While the deliberations of this group were in progress, seniors at the Penn College of Engineering of Cleveland State University, and counseled by Dean Burl Bush, designed and held a ring ceremony and reception on June 4th, 1970. Each participant signed a creed and received a plain stainless steel ring placed on the small finger of their working hand. 170 engineering seniors and engineering faculty members took part in the very first ceremony. Since then, the movement has spread rapidly throughout the United States and now has only over 250 active links. Such is the stories of increasing acceptance of the Order of the Engineer, as known in the United States today. It is patterned after the Canadian concept, but with the stainless steel ring symbolizing strength and unity of the profession and providing an identifying mark of an engineer.
The Order of the Engineer, to which you will soon belong, is an independent organization. The purpose is to foster a feeling of pride in and dedication to that profession which binds us together. You are asked to accept with pride the meaning of the ceremony, to which you are about to subscribe. The obligation should be freely given and the responsibility gladly accepted. The order is symbolized by the acceptance of an obligation and the wearing of a stainless steel ring on the little finger of your working hand. The obligation is the formal statement of an engineer's responsibility to the public and to the profession. It is a creed similar to the oath attributed to Hippocrates that is commonly taken by medical graduates and which sets forth an ethical code. The obligation, likewise, contains parts of the canon of ethics of major engineering societies. Initiates, as they voluntarily accept it, pledge to uphold the standards and the dignity of the engineering profession, and to serve humanity by making the best use of Earth's precious and limited resources. The obligation is a composite of several creeds. It emphasizes the fact that we, as engineers, have certain obligations. It promotes honesty and integrity, and recognizes that today's engineers are dependent on their predecessors for their skills. The ring, a symbol of pride, prestige, honor, and professionalism among all engineering in the United States, also serves as a reminder to the engineer of our obligation to society. The symbol of your desire to serve the public is the engineer's ring. The ring you will wear on the fifth finger of your working hand will say to all who see it, here is an engineer, possessed of a publicly avowed dedication to the profession and the public they serve. It is our symbol. Wear it for all to see. It is a badge of recognition which will become known to all as a sign of a learned professional pledged to making the best use of Earth's precious and limited resources. Will all the candidates for induction into the Order of the Engineer and current members please stand up? So you should all have cards or copies. I think Dr. Scared was put up there. So candidates for the Order of the Engineer is an independent movement. The purpose is to foster a feeling of pride in and dedication to our profession. Your membership in the Order is symbolized by the acceptance of an obligation and the wearing of the stainless steel ring on the little finger of the working hand. There are no meetings other than this ceremony, and there are no dues ever. It is with humility and the need for guidance that we take this pledge. So please recite with Dr. Skirdo and I the obligation of an engineer. Okay. I am an engineer. In my profession, I take deep pride to it. I owe solemn obligations. As an engineer, I pledge to practice integrity and fair dealing, tolerance and respect, and to uphold the devotion to the standards and the dignity of my profession, conscious always that my skill carries with it the obligation to serve humanity by making the best use of the Earth's precious wealth. As an engineer, I shall participate in none but honest enterprises. When needed, my skill and knowledge shall be given without reservation for the public good. In the performance of duty and in fidelity to my profession, I shall give my utmost. You can see it. Now, in the presence of your fellow engineers, you will be called forward to receive your ring as an indication of your acceptance of the obligation. And I told Dr. Skirdo today, we had the Dean's Advisory Board. I was far more nervous for this ceremony than the Dean's Advisory Board because I apologize if I mess up your name. Give me some grace. All right, so I will do my best. All right. They are not in alphabetical order, so just listen for your name. Okay. Sunwing Hu.
You could probably hold the applause if you want. Your hands are going to fall off after 55 people.
So you best to start from over here, work your way that way, back to your seats.
Okay. Natalia Vicente.